The Apple share price has had quite a dip today, so we're going to look at why it's dipped, we're going to look at the reasons behind it, and we're going to look at whether it is once again, as I said in a few recent videos, whether with every little small dip with Apple, whether it might be a good buying opportunity. I think it is. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, don't hesitate to head down there and just subscribe to the channel so you get all the future content coming out. Not as often or as much as it has been because we've been very busy with work, but still at least a video a week, stock market related and more if I can. And while you're down there, give it a little like, or of course, wait until you've seen the whole video, liked the video, and then like it, because that's what the like button's for. Put a comment down below as well, let me know whether you're getting into Apple, what your thoughts are on Apple, whether you think certain factors I'm going to mention in this video are also having an effect other than the obvious, the lawsuit, the Apple and Epic trial that's going on at the moment. So we're going to get into that. We're going to have a look at what's going on with Apple share price. We're going to have a look at the chart. I'm going to let you know whether I'm buying into it at the moment, and I'm going to give you my view on Apple as a whole and whether you should be buying in these small dips, what it means for the future, and pull up a couple of articles. I've just read one that says something about how this is going to change technology as a whole. I mean, what's stupid thing to say in an article. Technology is always changing, so just ridiculous. So we're going to have a look at that. We'll have a couple of articles. We're going to have a look at the share price. We're going to give you my view on it and show you whether I'm buying in or not as well. Right, let's get straight into it. Let's go straight into the portfolio and we'll have a look at Apple share price. That's what you're here for, just to see what's happened. So we've had a massive dip today. I think it got up to maybe 4% down in total. I don't think it's there right now. It is, yeah, it got up to just over 4% down, running at 3.5% now. So bit of a dip, certainly not a crash, and we know why it's dipping. We've got a reason for it to dip, but a good opportunity if we still feel like Apple is in and around the 135 to 140, 135 to 140s, then it's a good opportunity to buy at 127 maybe. That's of course if you do still genuinely believe in the company and believe in Apple. So let's get some articles up. We'll have a look at exactly what happened. So this is one of them, Apple versus Epic. So just to go through the basics of it with you, I'll bring up this article because it explains it quite well. The only thing I don't like about this article, as I explained out there, is some of the independence. So I don't know why I'm surprised. Some of the things that they say in it and the way they word things, and how their court case could change the future of technology. Technology is forever changing, so that's just stupid. Anyway, Apple and Epic have begun a court trial that could decide the future of technology. To begin with, that is ridiculous. On the one hand, the trial and the very public fallout that preceded it is very simple. Epic argues that the rules that govern the App Store are unfair and that apps like its own Fortnite should be allowed to behave differently. So Epic just have got this huge feud with Apple about Fortnite and the App Store as a whole, saying that it's unfair and the fees are too high and it's too restricting, and Apple is too monopolized in terms of if you've got an iPhone, you then can't use any other company's devices or software and bits and pieces of that. It's all iOS, it's all Apple, which is a fair point and something that is a bit of an issue for loads of people using Apple. Once you're in Apple, you can't get out. So, but at the same time, the fight is incredibly complex. It revolves around the rules that underpin much of the technology that people use today, each day, much of the technology people use each day being Apple, and suggests that it should be changed. Though the dispute at the centre of the fallout stretches back for years, the real beginning of the current trial can be traced back to the moment last year in which Epic added a new system into Fortnite that allowed the developers to get around the 30% commission that Apple charges on every digital purchase made in an app downloaded from its store. In doing so, Epic broke Apple's rules. Fortnite and Epic generally were removed from the apps in keeping with its rules. So Epic didn't want to play by the rules. They managed to get around it. Apple didn't like it. That was last year. Now they've got to trial. Now, the simple fact is, it's the first day. I've got some takeaways, just some takeaways there of the trial. Go on to Seeking Alpha. You can see exactly what's going on with the trial on this website, on this article. The fact is, the trial has begun and there's been a huge sell-off. Something else that I thought might have an impact on the share price, but probably not. And it'd be interesting to see what your views are. I've not looked into this and whether it has had an impact on the share price, but interesting to kind of think about it actually. So Bill Gates and Melinda Gates have just announced their separation. After 27 years of marriage, Bill Gates is a very wealthy man. He owns just over 1 million shares in Apple. It's only I did look this up, 0.6% of his portfolio, whereas Berkshire Hathaway is like 43% of his portfolio. And actually Apple could form quite a large portion of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio, and he owns a lot of that. So anyway, kind of like a chain reaction. But being that he owns over 1 million shares in Apple, would
this news of the divorce coming out now have an impact on the Apple share price? I don't think it will really, but it's just interesting. A bit more negative news maybe around his portfolio, because we know he's a big investor and we know he's got a lot of money. So anyway, throw that out there. Let me know in the comments if you think that's going to have an impact at all, but just a thought process. Anyway, so this is what the share price has done today. We've had a look at this. We've had a look at why. Let's have a look at the takeaways from the trial just quickly here, where each attorney's made their kind of, I guess, not opening statement as such, but the takeaways, and then I'll let you know exactly what I'm doing with Apple as of right now. So as I said, this is on Seeking Alpha. You can have a look at this article yourself. So just a key quote from Epic's attorney, Catherine Forrest. When they pick up the iPhone, users enter a different world. I've sort of mentioned that already. They are locked into a closed platform where they can only download apps from Apple, and each and every time they purchase in the app, a 30% tax is imposed. So that's the whole argument really, is the fact that Epic want to be able to not sell apps and Fortnite and probably in-game purchases and all sorts of bits and pieces like that on the App Store, but they don't want to pay the 30% commission that or tax that everybody has to pay and always has had to pay, and they're just going bucking the trend basically. I imagine Apple will turn around and just say, well, don't use it then. You carry on reading there. Apple mentions that the 30% fee is actually in line with industry standard, and Apple's attorney Karen Dunn comes in and says $20 billion company has decided that it doesn't want to vote for Apple's innovations anymore, so Epic is here demanding that the court force Apple to get into its App Store untested and untrusted apps, something that Apple has never done. That's the other thing they want, to open the App Store out to everyone and bring in untrustworthy and untested apps that could cause problems. So they're the main takeaways, and this is the first day. There'll be plenty more of this going on throughout the coming days, so I will certainly keep up to date with it. Will I get a video out to you guys to update you on a daily basis as to what's going on? No, I won't, because I haven't got time, and that's the honest truth. So you know about it now, you can keep up with it yourself. Let's get rid of that. So what am I doing with Apple? So as you all know, let me go into my positions. I hold a pretty reasonable position in Apple in terms of my portfolio. $3,000 in profit, £5,500 position in Apple. In actual fact, in terms of market value, it's the third largest holding in my portfolio there, behind the ETFs that I just keep plowing into. So I'll quickly show you with complete transparency. If I go into history, as of today, I went on a little bit of a buying spree because I had a bit of money to spend and there was a few dips in the market. So let me just highlight this one here, right here, Apple, 5 new positions in Apple at $127, cost me $635 in total, £460. So I did buy Apple shares today at 127, knowing that it's 130, 135, up to $140 company in the near future, and far more in the distant future, I'm sure. I might as well go through the rest of them just for complete transparency. I then bought 2 more shares for the Vanguard Index Fund at $758. There's Capital Corporation for a dividend fund, ultra high dividend payer. I sold BioLoan RX Limited. I won't go into that. That was just, don't worry about that one. Royalty Income, the monthly dividend payer. A couple of shares in that. A couple in the Vanguard International High Dividend Yield ETF as well, and a few shares in PIMCO Corporate Common Opportunity Fund, 5 shares in that. So I went on a little spending spree, just a few bits and pieces, and high dividend paying companies, some ETFs and some Apple. I still have £900 to spend as and when the Apple trial with Epic continues, and there's another small dip or a big dip. I will continue to buy into Apple. So that's where we are with Apple. That's exactly what I'm doing with Apple. I'm buying more in this small dip. I don't think this trial is going to change Apple as a company, and I think any small dip you can come across, you're pretty safe to buy into with Apple, because let's look at the long term. It'll do fine. Apple will do fine. So still buying in. That's what's happened today because of this trial. Nice big dip with Apple. Do what we've got to do, but this guy's buying in.
So there we are, that's it for today's video. Hopefully that was enlightening for you, and it would be great to hear from you guys as to whether you're getting into Apple at the moment, whether you think it's at a good level, whether you think it might drop further as this trial continues, whether you're just going to hold fire for the moment, whether you might get in a little bit, wait for it to drop a bit more, get in again, wait for it to drop, get in again, which is pretty much exactly my game plan. Be interesting to see how the trial kind of goes, and also interesting to see if any other big tech companies might be affected by this as well. Now, obviously Apple's going to be affected, but and Epic, but maybe other tech companies as well, if this really is going to change technology. It's not. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting into, as always, with a new month, more Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, and also Apple, and also some high dividend paying stocks. I might do a video on what I've got into more recently, just to bore you to death, and I might look at what I've received in dividends last month and so far this month, because already I'm up to around £52 in dividends just for the 4th, which is good, and it should be a pretty good month as well. So I'll go through all of that in the next few videos. I'll line those up in the next few days, I'm sure, if I can, if I'm not too busy with work, which I will be, but I'll do my very best for you. And until then, do all the good stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed the video or it's helped you in any way. I try and talk as much sense about the stock market as I possibly can and cut through all the rubbish. Give the video a like if you've made it this far and you have enjoyed it and you've liked the video, obviously. And as I said, pop a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. It'd be great to hear from you guys and we can have a conversation about it. So that's it for this video. I'll wrap that up there and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.